And this other guy came up and he had a timing chain from a tractor and a bald head and he had a flashlight on his head. And he's like, hey, little girl. He saved me. He chased away the guy that was bugging me and he said, do you want to sober up? Come under this bridge with me. And I was so naive and everything. I thought this guy was my savior. And that's when I smoked meth for the first time. And it got me immediately sober off the booze. And I kind of but it made me feel so numb and not care about stuff as much. I wasn't scared like I was. It made me feel a little bit tougher for some reason and less emotional. But my senses were all amped up with it. I stayed awake for 14 days once, even on stuff. But I never got off having sex still. But I was really, I don't know. I don't think it affected it. I don't know though. I think I'm defective because I've never had an orgasm until recently, actually. I'm still
circumcision.
Like, sex feeling good for me. I don't think that's unusual for women, actually. People. I always thought it was
Should I
like,
tell her a circumcision?
So I got really good at it. I read books and stuff and got really good at it.
Wow. I'm sorry I even asked that question. I feel like a fucking idiot now. I'm like, you're talking about like having a bump at the club. Like,
I know that, but that's why this is interesting because
I would never feel bad for any question anybody asked me about my life because I think that it's very admirable that people would try to understand something that's not like something they don't know about, right? People that are on the streets, the one thing that, like, when I lived on the streets or I was in that lifestyle, the one thing I hated most was how people could not see me because maybe they're scared or they don't know what to say. They'll just like walk through you or not even look at you or not see you. I hated that. I really hated that. But it means like more to somebody that you just go, hey, and show them that they're really still a person and they're part of society. That's one of the things that was for me to get off drugs. And it's still very hard for me because I've been on my own since I was 14. I've had a really hard life, some of the stuff that's happened, because I haven't had anybody that ever cared about me. I don't know how to do normal people things that other people would think they wouldn't think twice about it, right? It's like, how could you know how to do that shit? What's the matter with you? I've always just wanted a boyfriend that had a mom, so I could like steal his mom and get her to teach me like how to cook and tell me mom stuff. I wanted to kidnap a family and bury and have them in my basement. I'd be really nice to them, but then I'd have a mom. And like I'd have brothers and sisters, and I love them so much. But my friends always tell me that they don't think that's a good idea because they probably, it wouldn't be the same if I forced them. So I won't kidnap a family.
Yeah, probably don't.
No.
Chelsea, is your mic working? Just want to make sure you're welcomed. I saw you. Someone was booting you out.
Yeah, hey, my mic is working. My name's Chelsea, and I got your notification about what was it? Your show was like you were doing about what was the topic again today? I forgot. Didn't you do a show? I got a message.
You did the show. The topic was what is a woman?
Yeah. What is a woman? That's what it was. So I was interested by that title. What did we find out? What?
Well, it seemed like there's people of two camps. One camp thinking that, anyway you slice it, I think gender is conceptual, and then the other camp is saying, no, really, I mean, it's a reference to, being a biological female. Where do you land on that? Do you think it's gender is simply a concept just about one's identity, or do you think it's a more closer to how we use the term female?
I think if you would have asked me a couple of years ago, I would have been all like the traditional way of thinking about it, but this whole new culture got me like thinking twice about things. I think I'm buying into the non-binary thing, the non-binary paradigm of looking at things. Uh, I just found an article from well, a bunch of people are writing articles, but I don't know where the original source is, from the American Medical Association back in June 16, 2021. Uh, they're making the case that we should remove sex from we should stop assigning sex at birth on birth certificates, and
That's weird.
I agree with that. I think only because well, yeah, only because like the way we treat little boys like they're objects. I think if we could start to uh,
Are you from the intactivist community?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. That's a cause I fight.
Well,
I don't agree with it at all. None of my boys
well,
are
I think if we like start stripping away, because a lot of times we run into roadblocks simply because we're men and we're, our masculinity. But if we start to, like, if we took away, uh, if we normalize the non-binary paradigm, then it would like, I think it would be easier to argue against circumcision, basically.
I
You
don't
know?
know. That kind of scares me too, though. Like, then what? Guys are gonna think I can punch that girl in the face because she's not a girl. She's one just like me. There are certain reasons I think that gender, like, rules in society do exist. I wish people didn't have to be so stuck on rules,
Well,
though.
they'll be like, look at the non-binary people. Like, it's like the culture's changing. Like the Zoomers and the Gen Z are teaching our kids. They're all into this thing. Hold on.
You could teach them to clean their fingernails. Like, men lose so much when they do that. They lose sexual feeling. There's a reason for first, and it actually makes sex better for the woman as well. That's bad too.
Yeah, I just think people should be able to make these decisions about their own body, and there shouldn't be any mutilation of the genitals until we can make a pretty good prediction that at a certain age, whatever age indication we get from clinical psychology to tell us when we think that a child can understand the absolute thing that. Getting feedback from Chelsea there.
Hold on.
Just understanding the absoluteness of their decision and everything, and that they are of sound mind. So
I would agree, like full on. I think it's the most brutal thing that Western culture decided to do, and it seems like kind of puritanical, right? Like to remove part of the pleasure of sex and like to prevent masturbation.
I mean, this is all Kellogg.
Right. There's a black market for it. They sell it to cream companies that make
Oh yeah. So I thought
this
rings to my ears like it's some like wild, disgusting, untrue conspiracy theory, but it actually is true. I watch talk shows and they're like, "Did you just put baby foreskin cream on my hand?" And then they laugh together. They're like, "Ha ha ha! Now this cream is gonna do wonders for you, and then they go on to the pitch, and I'm like,
That's
Isn't that
fucked
terrible?
up.
that actually seems fake. Like to my ears as a skeptic, this can't be true. But it's one of those things that's so absurd that you come across that actually is true. It's
Such a fucking rules. Like,
it's
oh my
fucking.
god.
I just posted it in the circumcision tab. If you guys want to see like the celebrities who are like touching it, and they're like,
I don't think
oh my
I
god,
would.
it's baby foreskin.
Like we don't even live in real life.
It made me ill watching it. Like,
But only rich people can afford that foreskin fucking lotion. It's expensive.
who would buy it? Who would buy it? It's so
For what? For what?
It's so disgusting.
It's because they have such regenerative qualities in
Oh
baby
my
foreskin.
god. This is making me
Yeah.
believe that it's Reno Crow.
Now let me
Isn't that terrible?
tell you guys this. I could see how we would want to grow artificial versions of this same kind of
People have to cut off the parts.
yeah, and then you don't have to you can learn from that and make a technology, because maybe we find out that baby foreskins are an instant cure to leukemia if we concoct them in a certain concoction. Then I'm going to be down for. I'm not going to be for farming them off of living children. But now that you know what the backgrounds are, now what you know the structures are, then go and replicate that. I'm going to be fine with it. But taking the mutilated parts of child's genitals and turning into a cream,
putting them on
rubbing on your fucking face, and not giving a penny of those profits to those
Yeah, the little boys should get it, right?
What? How?
You should be
What
paying
would
for
that
college
look like? You
Can you
turn
imagine
16
if it's
and you're like, here, this is
I
the
just got
money
a
from your...
$1,000 check.
Yeah.
How many dudes would go sell their foreskin?
God.
Somebody told me something and it just doesn't sound real to me. Do they
What?
put? Okay, this is really gross, and I'm sorry.
No,
but do they
you can't stop doing this to me.
Do they put
I have like a very visual...
COVID shot? Do they?
Do they
No.
what?
This
Do
is
they
in the
put
COVID
COVID
shot.
No.
Because I'm supposed to get vaccinated, and you know how worried I was about getting vaccinated.
No.
So I'm like, my friends are like going all over me, jumping down my throat. How could you do that? How could you get vaccinated? And I'm like, well, I just want to have a better life. I just want to have a better life, and it's not going to kill me. But they're all trying to convince me I should do it now.
Yeah.
I can't do my practicum if I don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Your practicum is what's important here.
Yeah.
And those people who are, conspiratorially saying, don't do it because of this. Yeah, those people, as far as I'm concerned, don't have your well-being in mind.
My life will be better.
Will keep you from doing your practicum. I think you need your practicum. I think it's a really good thing. That's my opinion.
These guys are crazy.
Yeah, I really want it too. I think I could do a lot of good in my community at large too if I just. This is something I've wanted, so it would be really disappointing of me to give it up.
What are you studying, Crystal?
Addictions counseling.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to go back to East Van, and I'm going to go walk the same streets I walked as an addict.
Wow.
And
I hear that's really effective. It's like peer-to-peer stuff like that. We've been through it.
And you know what? The ladies that rescued me, they're Christian ladies, and not a one of them has ever had like a moment in their life that's been. But these ladies are tough, man. Once they went and rescued a girl from a hotel room that was being human trafficked, because that's what they do. And they came to the door of this place that has all these girls in there, and these people were not very nice, and they just kicked the door, answered the door, and these Christian ladies are all standing there going, look, as God is my witness, you better give me that girl. She does not want to be here. And if you don't, and they rescue girls from that are being trafficked, and they're great. But I couldn't live in the house after they rescued me because they were just so wholesome and pure, and they thought that I would get better if I just prayed enough and gave myself to God enough. All the trauma would just be taken away. And they did this counseling that is just Christian counseling, which was really weird to me, where they try to hypnotize you. Make you have visuals of Jesus coming down, and you give him your pain, and that wasn't working for me.
No.
at all. Like, I just
I mean,
was like, you guys are fruitcakes. This is not going to cure me.
do you have
Going
any
to
connections?
school is going to cure me. Like, moving on with my life is going to cure me. Jesus is not. Sorry, Jesus. I apologize.
Sorry, Jesus.
Sorry, I don't even, sorry, manifestation of people with fear that isn't even real. I apologize for offending you.
Oh my god.
Sorry, zombie baby Jesus. No, but that's why I left, because I was being, like, questioning. I was questioning. They don't like that. They don't like it when you question them, I noticed.
I would, I actually do appreciate apologists in the Christian community like Dinesh D'Souza, who I've gotten to know quite well. I think he's a pretty good open interlocutor who doesn't engage. He's pretty open to having a discussion. But yeah, I do think that many people are, not very open to that, and they don't like questions, and,
I'm kind of like a religion slut. Like, I tried them all just because I wanted to belong to something so bad. Like, I was Mormon for a while. First, I was Catholic. I was evangelistic. But there's just something that, I don't know, I guess I don't fit in anywhere, really.
Did you ever choose any of those things, or did you kind of just go along with your partner?
Mormonism I did choose. That was the one I did choose. And that was because they don't believe people go to hell. And I was born and made to be Catholic. Like, I was put in that as a child. And, like, my whole life I just had, and I still do sometimes, I have this fear of burning in hellfire for a lot of things. Like, the things that I learned were weird. Like, I didn't know about the whole evolution thing, really. Like, that we came from apes. Which seems totally logical. Like, why wouldn't they teach me that? They taught me that they didn't even talk about it.
We are apes.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
I just read about this experiment or some study scientists did, and they said, like, some percent of women is turned on by monkey sex, and now I understand that.
You have to really wonder who commissioned that study.
Well, yeah.
That's what I just hear. I'm trying to get something to eat over here. Can you guys, keep it fucking...
Someone said something about monkey sex.
Oh my god, just keep it chill for 5 seconds so I can actually manage to get something to eat.
No monkey sex. I get it.
Please no.
What about chickens?
No, what? Chickens don't have... No, they must.
They do.
No,
they do.
No, Shut up. I'm not that stupid, I swear.
I think female...
Where's the Destiny server? Jesus.
Blame you. It's a Pokemon. That's the fucking problem. Yeah, I don't feel so comfortable giving my social security and all that information to freaking Weeble.
You're thinking of WeChat, dog.
I'm thinking Weeble. It's like the little, it's got little feathers on his head, right? It's got little feathers. Look, do people paint their nails? Holy shit. Yeah. Why do people paint their nails? I don't know, for attention. No, I don't know. Ask Hassan. He's pretty good at it from what I heard. I'm doing my right hand right now. It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Oh, so I think someone's hot micing.
Chelsea.
vacation.
He has put in his calendar. He's in Texas at some kind of event.
He was in Fort Worth 2 days ago.
What is this? What is this chat about?
We're talking about missing Destiny right now.
Yeah, we miss him.
Watch Destiny is so bad. You don't even...
Man, that's why
But you're in his server.
That's good to say. Welcome.
That's like me going to church saying, "Oh my God, religion is so bad."
No, I said I want to watch him. I want to watch him so bad. I miss him. I miss my baby Destiny.
Like I work 12-hour shifts, so like I have a list of content creators who I download like a video to listen to while I work, and like with him gone, I've got like a whole 2-hour gap in like my coverage.
Dude, listen to this. My my manager today came up to me and he's like, "Are you listening to music?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, you can't listen to music." And I was like, "Oh, F."
Tell him to eat a dick.
I'm quitting.
I heard what kind of job is it? This is what depends.
I work in a pharmacy.
You can't listen to music in the pharmacy, but they play music over the head? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's like,
I work in an industrial
especially because
shop. Technically, we aren't allowed because it's dangerous, so I only use one headphone. And if I can get away with it, you should be able to.
yeah, he said I can't even use one headphone. I was like, "Are you kidding?" He was like, "It's for safety procedures because if there's an active shooter, blah blah blah." I was like, "Shut the fuck up! There's not like an active shooter." Like,
Shooter?
2 tons of steel could fall on my head at any time. I'm allowed.
Well, that
Like what?
you'd hear gunshots over your fucking headphones. Are you kidding me?
yeah, like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Do you think I'd just be la da 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 in the cooler? Like, no, nigga, I'd fucking hear the fucking gunshots. Like, are you fucking kidding? Dumbass. Like, I just didn't say anything, and I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in probably tomorrow.
The tactical.
Are you a pharmacy tech or are you a pharmacist?
So I do a little bit of everything. I work at Walgreens, so I do the phone department, cashier, I stock the coolers, stock everything. I'm mainly on the sales floor, but I also have qualifications to work in the pharmacy, so I can fill medication and I can check out patients and stuff like that. So I basically do everything. Overqualified job.
You might as well just be the fucking manager yourself.
I tried.
You don't want to be a manager at any like fast food place. It's just hell. It's a trap. Don't do it. Okay.
What do you think I should apply for?
Walmart.
Welding and engineering.
Why engineering?
Money.
So I can't apply to Walmart because they'll gender bias me and put me on the fucking cash register. But
how can they do that? Just identify as a man.
I already do.
It's not that. It's the problem that you get more sales if you ever win at the counter.
Exactly.
Well, that's sexist.
Even if you're like a non-binary, like androgynous, like if you look hot, I'd like to say I'm pretty hot. So if you look hot, they'll put you on the cash.
How do we know you're pretty hot?
Look at my profile picture.
Jeez, that's.
Well, it could be anybody.
It's me. I can't show my videos. EKTOPICT, the same thing that's up on my profile. I'm non-binary, but they'd still put me at the fucking.
Yeah, that doesn't matter when it comes to physical appearance.
If you just don't apply for a cash register, you would be there.
No, because they're super short-staffed for the cash register, so they still inevitably put me there. Like for Walgreens, I'm not supposed to be on the cash register, but they still put.
My advice is
I would simply not.
My advice is get out of retail.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to ask you guys for any jobs.
Look at apprenticeships in like trades. Like there's a lot of fucking money there.
You can start warehousing too.
Warehousing, like chuck and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't do that because that's swiftly going to be automated. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Amazon has robots that do
What kind of skills do you have?
I went to school for website development, had to drop out because my life was shitty. But I know a lot about computers, and I'm really fast at my work. I'm very quick at learning, and I'm very efficient.
Why don't you try to put together like a basic portfolio website or like app design or something to show employers and try to get an internship at a tech company somewhere. And then in the meantime, why not try like getting back into school?
So like I've thought like for like immediate solutions, like trying to get into like retail management, so like working on resets and revisions and stuff.
Oh no, that's a trap. Don't do it. Anything middle management in retail is career ending. Don't do that.
Really?
Yes. You're better off. Let me put it to you this way. If you finish school with your bachelor's degree and all you can get is middle management in retail, you're better off going back to school to get a PhD than you are to take that job in middle management. It will be more
middle management?
Middle management is like dead-end job, like you're the guy that the executives come to enforce stuff. In other words, so like micromanaging.
I'm not going to be a manager. I'm going to be a merchandiser. Is my mic really bad?
Yeah, you kept hearing manager.
No, merchandiser. So I'm going to be working with resets and revisions and strictly touching the product to move it around and make it up to inventory specialist.
Goddamn.
Just like the rest of us.
I think the server might be fucked. Hold on. It might actually legitimately be the call.
The server's definitely shitting itself as we speak.
There's a bunch of packet loss.
I'm gonna boost it.
It's not boosting my server. I'm just looking at the connection.
I boosted it.
You boosted the server?
Yeah, just now.
Wow.
Why? I don't know.
Hell yeah. I fucking love it. It's great. Always wanted to see a castle. I'm not going.
Yeah, dude. Castles are shit.
What are your thoughts on castles, Chelsea?
My thoughts on castles.
Yeah.
Never been in one. I've always wanted to go to a castle though. I admire structure, the great architecture, I guess, whatever. Yeah.
There's no old things in America. It's only
oldest
a few hundred years old.
Yeah, it's a shame because there is some old things like you've preserved some old things like a lot of the government buildings and stuff that kind of got erected sort of during
some old forts.
You guys still there?
and then sailed them up the river from the coast. They sailed them all the way up the river to Norwich, and then unloaded them, built this like crazy cathedral.
Hell yeah.
It's like
Is that where they done the Harry Potter stuff? Looks like it.
oh yeah, I think some. I think there has been. Wait, your hot liking,
Oh,
Chelsea?
sorry.
It does
Yeah,
look Harry Potterish.
There has been a bunch of things filmed in the UK, so, in Norwich specifically. I think I think there's been 2 or 3 movies filmed around our cathedral. I think there was I can't remember exactly, but I think there was a Harry Potter thing filmed in Norwich. The film.
I feel like I'm so sure that this was Hogwarts at some point.
Was it? What was the film? Was it Stardust? With Claire, is it Claire? What's her face? There was scenes in that were filmed in Norwich. And of course, one of the most famous things that was filmed in Norwich was more recent. Was it was one of the Avengers films. It was is it Age of Ultron?
The most recent one was Endgame.
Yeah, no, it's not the most recent one. I think it was Age of Ultron. So I don't know if you remember at the Age of Ultron, there's like they form like a new Avengers base.
No, I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, at the end of Age of Ultron, they form like a new Avengers base, like the Avengers like reassemble essentially. After fighting Ultron, and that base is they wanted like a really high tech looking building for that base, and they picked the university that's in Norwich built this brand new crazy futuristic looking building, and they flew like the Avengers crew in to Norwich to film that. And so the outside of that building is like, is filmed in Norwich. So that was cool. So that's a much more but that's more modern thing. So it's obviously to do with the modern kind of building that they built at the university. But there's been absolutely. I think it was a Jack and the Beanstalk thing also was filmed in Norwich as well. There was a more modern Jack and the Beanstalk movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it was based on that theme, and that was also based. So there's been quite a lot of shit like shot here because of its like old architecture, which is cool.
Yeah, old buildings are pretty cool. Did you know there's another Frosty in the server? Another guy with the same name issue.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, but I would guess that's the case because Frosty's a pretty common name.
I have a friend named Frosty.
Well, his online name is Frosty. His real name is Frosty.
His online name.
Yeah, there's no way anyone is called Frosty at all. Unless you are, that would be really fucked up if I said that.
No, I'm an old bag, so when I picked the name Frosty, it was picked like 25 years ago or something.
Jesus Christ, bro, that's longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, I'm 38. So,
me too.
So, wait, you're 38?
No, that's longer than I've been alive.
Well, you can't be running in numbers like 25 years. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
21.
I think that's true. Yeah, I'm 38 and I was probably using the internet around 11, 12, something like that, and I started using an online persona, Frosty, or Frost originally. That was a very long time ago. So I've just stuck with it for a very long time. But the problem is that lots of people started to call themselves Frost or Frosty or some variant. So.
Well, thank God you're in luck. I don't think there's anyone significantly popular with Frosty, so
Well,
quite
GGG.
contested. No, just in general. There's definitely, like, if you were to go to General My Dude and type, everyone would be like, you're not Frosty. I just mean generally.
Yeah, there's no one I've run into that's a sort of publicly notable person called Frosty. So maybe if I become a streamer in future,
Do it.
I'll be able to claim the name and push everyone else out.
What is this link?
Hang on a second, I'll be right back. I need to get to the link.
Oh, the link is wrong, I think. Yeah, Chelsea guy. I think you just like linked WebMD website, not like the actual thing.
Oh, give me a second, because I was wanting you guys to take a look at that. Let me find the right link. But it's basically, it's about assigning sex at birth. I wanted to hear what you guys thought.
When did they add the chat thing to Discord thing? I guess it was a couple of days ago. Just cool.
Wait, where are you saying this?
Voice channel on the thing, you know, like if you hover over the VC, it has like a little thing that says voice
Shit.
chat. Yeah, I think they added this very recently, which is pretty cool. Okay, we have the link.
I was thinking about putting a poll on Reddit, the polls are polls, and asking about this article. Like the American Medical Association says that we should stop assigning sex at birth. Do you agree? Yes or no? And I don't know. Maybe I don't do Reddit very much, but I think the mod should allow that poll.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
What do you think about it?
You know, if you would have asked me like a couple years ago, like, cause I'm like 42, so like my whole like tradcon way of things, you know what I'm saying? But now I kind of agree with it. I think we should stop it.
You guys are fucking old. Oh my fucking god.
How old are you, Ghostbriar?
I'm 21.
Oh, we're the same age.
Oh, nice.
We are the underdeveloped.
It's the youngies versus the oldies.
I'd rather be underdeveloped than overdeveloped.
Hey, Chelsea has me beat.
Yeah, you can call him a Barry. Although you're
What did you say, boomer?
I feel like if you're English, you're just like, you get to add on 5 years.
I know the memes. I know all of the memes.
So I guess a way to approach.
Remove sex from public birth certificates.
Yeah, you kind of only need to read the title, to be honest with you. I don't think I've seen anything that was different, just people talking, you know.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So my answer to this is, I'm just gonna pull that out. That's really stupid. Sex in the terms that most people understand it is like your chromosomal biological sex. So it's like, well, you can measure that. Like you can do a test. You can measure it. You put it on a measure.
Yeah, but that's hate speech. That kind of truth is hate speech. So,
I don't give a fuck. Like, the people that are saying that retarded shit, like, can fuck off. Like the people that are denying like basic biology can, like, that's not to say that there's not trans people who have like different lived experience, different internal like the way their brains work and how they perceive themselves. Like, that's not to discount any of that. It's just to say that there is a fact of biological sex, and you can be one way or the other, and we can measure that as an objective thing. So, If it's talking about sex on birth certificates, then yes, you can accurately put whether someone has XX or XY chromosomes. You can put on a birth certificate. That's
Well, what if we put the XX and XY only instead of male or female? Because that seems like the male and the word male like short circuits people's brains. And then also, if we think that it's a male, then it, like in our minds, then we are more likely to do kind of a bad thing to the baby just because we think that it is a male, like the whole circumcision thing is wrong and all that stuff. And if we stop thinking of it male, female, and start trying to like make things more cohesive and more like across the board, not too many more, trying to eliminate as many double standards as we possibly can. That's why I'm kind of more supportive than I probably would have been in the past with this kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of warming up to it, like the whole non-binary binary thing. Like it seems like
wouldn't the double standards still exist if like the doctor saw what genitals the baby have?
yeah, but just like now people are saying women can have penises, you know what I'm saying? Like so
wait. So okay.
Well, yeah, we're talking about it in a medical sense, though.
Yeah, but okay, let's just separate these two things out into sensible categories that we can logically track. When people are talking about sex in the olden days, like i.e. when I grew up, sex just meant your chromosomes, essentially, like whether you were biologically male or female. The problem is that there's been a language game that has been played